Hey everyone, are you ready for a surprisingly good film? Perfect Day, starring Koji Yakusho, is a new film directed by Wim Wenders that is a visual portrait of a man who lives a very simple life in Tokyo. Perfect Days is the story of Hirayama, a man who cleans public toilets in Tokyo. He lives a simple life with a focus on finding tranquility in his daily tasks, but even a simple life has its pressures and complexities that create poignant moments of self-reflection as he experiences the joy and pain that come with the consequences of his choices. This is a beautifully filmed Japanese movie with English subtitles, but don't let that stop you from watching it. Like Godzilla Minus One, this film is so well written, directed, and acted that you could remove the subtitles and still understand what is happening. That is a rare gift in a film, and of all the films that I've seen recently, only a few have been so well done that language was unnecessary to understand the feel of the impact of the story. Those films include The Quiet Girl, Godzilla Minus One, and now Perfect Days. Hirayama's life may seem simple due to the regularity of his daily experiences. He wakes, he hears his neighbors sweeping outside, he showers, he goes to work cleaning public toilets, and then throughout his day, he sees the same strange man walking through the city. He plays a game, he eats lunch in the park, he reads a book before bed. There's a comfort in the pattern of his life. The visual elements of the film are poetic in how they are filmed, from the angles to the objects and the locations. There is a visceral humanness to the visual side of the story, with the artistic interpretation of the public toilet buildings and the spaces around them. There is a constant humming and thrumming of life that Hirayama facilitates in his work, and he takes pride in doing his job well. In contrast, we see his young 20-something co-worker breezing in and out of the film, making excuses, creating drama, and asking Hirayama for favors. On the surface, it would be easy to look down on Takashi, his co-worker, and the chaos that he brings into Hirayama's life. But he also serves as a foil to better understand Hirayama, what's important to him, and the simple pleasures that he finds in the world around him, such as the cassette tapes of American music from the 60s and 1970s. The Perfect Days soundtrack is absolutely fantastic. The song choices all have meaning at the point in the story when they are played. From the Animals to the Stones, Van Morrison, and Nina Simone, each song highlights a moment that either enhances or creates contrast within the story. And it might seem odd for a Japanese film to feature so much American music, but that in itself is part of the story and the history, for good or ill, of how American culture has infiltrated Japanese culture after World War II. Through about the first third of the film, we see Hirayama in his daily routine until Takashi upends that routine, exposing the cracks that are hidden beneath the tranquility that Hirayama has created for himself. Despite the stress cracks that Takashi reveals, Hirayama still rises above the challenge, making choices that resonate with his character and make him such a compelling and thoughtful man that commands a gentle respect, despite, or perhaps because of, his chosen profession of taking care of something so personal, important, and invisible as public toilets in the Tokyo city center. However, the real power of the film comes with the arrival of Hirayama's runaway niece. We see a completely different side of the man without him changing anything about himself, because we suddenly see him through Nico's eyes as she watches her uncle clean. Her face shows some initial embarrassment, but then he wins her over and she almost shyly begins helping him and finds her own peace and solace in manual labor. Their relationship is tender and fragile in its newness. You can tell that neither of them are quite comfortable with each other at first, giving us a look into what his choices have cost him regarding his own family when his sister finally shows up to take Nico home. There is also a deep artistry in how the film processes Hirayama's daily experiences during his dreams at night through the use of like faded or distorted images of earlier scenes. And the dream images seem to act as visceral representations of his unrealized desires and hopes and struggles that he leaves us desperately wanting more for him, while knowing that this is the life he has chosen for himself. And despite the cracks that are showing, he has found peace. And that is more than most of us can claim about our own lives. As the film ends, we're left with a mix of feelings that blend sadness and joy together, so that you don't know if you should be crying or laughing, or maybe both. Perfect Days is truly a gorgeous film because of how it's constructed. The language barrier is minimal. You can follow along or not with the subtitles and completely get the story and feel of Hirayama's life. The film is just over 2 hours, and it really does start to feel a little long around the 1 hour and 40-minute mark. But as the film wraps up, there is a feeling of completeness that you get that makes the whole experience feel like you've gotten a rare and intimate glimpse into the small truths of a person's life that you would never normally see without quietly looking into a mirror at yourself, really seeing your own daily pain, love, and struggles, and all of that broken down into its simplest forms. So, Perfect Days. Have you seen it? It's currently playing on some planes, which is where I saw it. It's also on Hulu and other streaming services. I highly recommend it if you are comfortable watching films that use subtitles. If you enjoy films that dive deeply into simple stories and touch on those small moments in life, if you watch it, definitely let me know what you think, because I really loved this movie. It stayed with me. Thanks so much, everybody. If you like this review, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos, because there are more coming. In the meantime, happy viewing, everybody. I'll see you again soon. Bye.